News Talk 640 WFNC. Kenny, Trevor, I'm calling you Kenny because you're in here and I haven't seen you in a good little bit.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, well, tell me about your. I'm gonna put you up on camera right now because we are streaming this Facebook Live here. You're on camera here. Tell me about your New Year's.
It was fun. I actually performed at the District NYE Spectacular that Dominique was hosting. It was really fun. Good turnout. A lot of people was there. Young Jock was there. 702 was there. Bubba Sparks was there. It was fun.
Well, when you say you were performing, tell me about that. What'd you do?
Yeah, so I'm actually an artist myself. I go by Trev Truth on all platforms and stuff like that. So, I did a couple songs, rapped a little bit, sang a little bit. I had like a 20-minute set, so I went on, had to prepare everything. I got my visuals and stuff on the screens in the background. So, yeah, it was cool. I got my stuff on my, some of my stuff is on my social medias, and I got a lot of good footage and pictures from it, too.
Well, now I got both of us on the screen. Good grief here. So you did. I saw pictures. I saw video of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And was it a good crowd out there?
Yeah, 100%. They threw me in the fire, made me go first. But so like I got like a little lighter bit of it, but it was still a couple hundred people. And then by the time the Young Jock and Bubba Sparks came out, it was like good crowd.
Well, I do sound for bands and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The first person is the test person to get the sound right. Did they do a sound check earlier?
Yeah, I did.
You were able to do it, and so they have that locked in pretty good. But still, they got to fine tune it when you have the actual performance, a little bit different than that. Well, I'm glad. Now, I have one question though, because I know that Segway Stadium had fireworks. Now, did the festival park just share the fireworks that were coming over the festival, or did they have their own fireworks as well? Were you still there?
I wasn't there at that point. I had went home. I had to sleep. But but I know they did. They had like the kids countdown at like 10 o'clock.
Right.
So that the parents took their kids to go to Segway Stadium to go see those fireworks. So I'm not sure. I think they probably just shared them. You probably got to ask Dominique.
Yeah, I'll check with her and see. I was curious because I know we had the Woodpeckers in here, and they were talking about this celebration that was going to be going on, and it included fireworks. It was the end of the lights show that they had out there at Segway Stadium, and then it was going to be a big thing. And I said it's so close. I mean, it's right across the street, so I couldn't see two fireworks battling each other exactly 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was probably the same one that everybody just shared. But in any event. It's a new year. What's your resolutions here? What do you got going on? Anything major?
I don't really do resolutions, to be honest. I just try to make sure I'm the best version of myself all the time.
Well, I'm glad to see you got the memo on the black shirts today. it's I don't do resolutions either. I've just figured because what's going to happen is one of the biggest ones I think everybody's making is having to do with losing some weight and going to the gym.
Yeah.
And my philosophy now, you go to the gym and work out and all that stuff?
Yeah. I played sports in college, so like that stuff is just ingrained in me. I just can't stop.
Well, you will be able to. Let me tell you, I'm 70. You will stop at some point,
Yeah.
and it'll catch up with you. I remember being in college, and I was a track and cross country runner, and I was like, I did this thing like Forrest Gump. I was running for Central State University cross country, right on a 10-mile training run. And I just stopped. And all the runners came by me because I was one of the top runners. Hey, Gil, what's going on? They called me Ski. And I said, Ski, what's up? And I said, I think I've had all the running I want to do.
Yeah, wow.
And I just stopped. And I turned around and walked back to campus. And I guess it will just come to you at some point where you say, enough is enough, and let me move on to something else. Now, what I did notice after I stopped that, the weight started coming on. I started drinking Hawaiian punch in the big glass, and so everything starts changing, and then all of a sudden you don't realize that all of a sudden you start gaining weight. And I think the mistake a lot of people make, and they're trying to make this New Year's resolution to lose weight, is the fact that they forget that they didn't gain that weight in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So why do you think you can lose it in 6 weeks? You can't. So it's a lifestyle change. And the pledge to start going to the gym and everything, not knocking gyms, they're good community things, and some people need the encouragement of others. But you have to be self-motivated to stay in shape.
100%.
If you don't, and I tell Doris all the time, she's a member of one of the health club. I said, why would you join a health club if you on your own will not get out of bed and just roll over and do 10 push-ups right by the bed, roll on your back and do 10 sit-ups, walk around the block. If you're not doing that stuff for yourself, your membership at the gym isn't going to last. Because in many cases, now women are going to call me and complain and say, "Why are you saying that, Donis?" But you have to look good in order before you even go to gym.
Yeah.
You have to get dressed, make sure your outfits match and all. If you just get out of bed and roll over, you can look like whatever you want to look. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, that's not one of my New Year's resolutions. I think I'm trying to get back more on track of doing things the way I used to do them while I was in TV. And it's hard in this schedule, and you know, because you said you had to go home to get sleep. I was at the club last night till 11. I couldn't get them to leave, and here I am on 2 hours sleep here because I got to get up at 3 or so in order to prep the show. And you know, when you have a change like that in your life, and I've been doing this since March, it can start to wear down on your body. So you have to make sure that you make time for rest, and that's the most important thing. I think that's my thing for sure. To make time for rest and play more golf. And that's not a New Year's resolution. That is a promise that I'm planning to make. All right, we've got a good show. We always have a good show. Trying to see who we got coming in here today. Oh, Bill Bowman. This is Wednesday, right? Yeah, Bill Bowman will be here. You know what the interesting is? I got this book here with all the folks I schedule and everything.
Yeah.
I almost had a year's worth that I was flipping through pages. And so I took 2025 out, and that's one of my things about trying to get a little bit more organized for 2026. Took my whole wad of interviews I've had for 2025 out and started it fresh, and I got a nice thin book again. And here we go with all the folks we have. Yeah, and then we have someone from Cumberland County coming in the 8 o'clock hour. So we got all those things going on here. I've got a couple of stories I'm going to read for you here. Some local news that we talked about at the top of the hour. An impaired driver was arrested on the scene. Let me take you out of the camera so you can go and do what you got to do. You're off so nobody sees you. An impaired driver was arrested on the scene of a crash that brought horrific damage to a home in Fayettevillle. Investigators say Fayetteville police were called around 1:15 Friday morning to a motor vehicle crash on Bingham Drive. And when they arrived, they found a Hyundai Santa Fe had crashed into a house. The vehicle entered the bedroom of a juvenile. However, no one was transported to the hospital. 49-year-old Letitia Gillians faces several charges, including failure to maintain lane control and driving while impaired. Police say she tested a blood sugar level of 0.09, which is just above the legal limit. Gillians processed at the Cumberland County Detention Center, and then she was released on a $1,000 bond. Now, this is a pretty interesting story here. North Carolina health administrators confirm additional cases of measles in 3 siblings in Buncombe County. We're told the family visited Spartanburg County, South Carolina, where there is a large ongoing measles outbreak. And 2 weeks after their visit, the children became sick. And that's about the time period when you'll start to see symptoms if you've been exposed to measles. Health administrators say to protect the family's privacy, they're not going to release any more information about the case. Doctors say anyone who may have visited the Mission Hospital Emergency Department between 2 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. on Sunday, January 4th, may have been exposed. Now, state officials say that they are working closely with the hospital and the health department down there to contact anyone who may have been exposed. This comes after a confirmed case of measles in Gaston County on Saturday. In December, at RDU, measles passenger traveling through Terminal 2 had measles, and health leaders recommend that anyone 1 year of age or older should receive the vaccine to protect themselves and others around them. I'm going to elaborate on this story a little bit more here. I got a little bit more information about this. Measles, highly contagious. Have you ever had measles?
No. I've never had measles.
Well, it's funny, and I'm going to bring you up here because you laugh about that, but now with people not getting vaccines, here we go. And you never had it. And this is, as a matter of fact, as of December 30th, the Center of Disease Controls and Prevention reported 2,065 people from 44 states have confirmed cases of measles.
Don't they make you get a vaccination for that?
Sure,
in elementary school?
But now people are opting not to take the vaccine, and now here we have it. And Dr. Jennifer Green, who's no longer with us, we talked about this every week from the health department, and so that is the highest number of reported measles cases in the United States since the 1990s. 90s, 2000. That's been 30 years, and all of a sudden now measles is starting to become a problem. So, all right, here's some of the symptoms that usually begin 1 to 2 weeks after exposure, but can appear up to 21 days after exposure as well. I'm going to take you off screen so you can continue to do what you want to do over there. By the way, folks, we podcast this radio show in the morning on my Facebook page and also my YouTube page. So I say I'm taking you off screen. You can't see that on the radio. But if you are listening on our podcast, make sure you let people know that you're listening to WFNC 640 103.5 HD2. All right, here's some of the symptoms. Usually begin 1 to 2 weeks after exposure, but can start appearing 21 days after exposure. High fever. And, the fever may spike as much as 104 degrees.
Dang.
Now, wait a minute. I'm going to bring you up while I bring you the symptoms because I don't want to shock you, but I want you to really understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. You may have a cough. And last night at the club, there's a couple people coughing, singing on my microphone. I'm aware. I have my Lysol wipes.
Yeah.
I'm wiping down those mics. Runny nose, red watery eyes, that's conjunctivitis, tiny white spots on the inner cheeks, gums, and roof of your mouth. A rash that is red, raised, blotchy, usually starts on your face, spreads to your trunks, that would be your arms and legs, 3 to 5 days after the symptoms begin. Measles can also cause complications, including diarrhea, pneumonia, encephalitis, that is the swelling of your brain, and suppression of the immune system. So, I think I had my measles thing in the jig. If you haven't had your vaccine, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. We went through this with COVID, trying to encourage people to get vaccinated. And are there side effects? So I'm sure there's side effects of some vaccine. Do what you got to do, people, based on talking with your doctor, not listening to me on the radio. So I'm bringing me back up and get you off the hook. All right, the search. This is the WFNC Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week. The search for a suspect in the 3-year-old murder of Carlos Whitted is the WFNC Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office asking for the public's assistance in gathering any information that could help solve Whitted's homicide. The incident happened November 10th, 2022, near Lawndale and Bangle Streets off of Cumberland Road. If you have information regarding this case, you should contact the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, or you can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers. That number, 910-483-TIPS. And lastly, no, this is not last. I have another one after this. Let's see. Uh-oh, I'm getting ready to cough. I don't have measles. But, I see, I got a cough button here. See, people can see it now. I can push this button right here. When I push this button right here, once I push this button, you can't hear what I'm saying. See, but I pushed that button, I'm back. So that's a cough button. I got one in here for whoever's I'm interviewing too. But I can't tell when they're getting ready to cough. They just cough, and I'm late. All right, hey, a popular route in Hope Mills is going to have a detour starting next week while bridge maintenance is performed. We're talking about Legion Road near the intersection of Cameron Road. It's going to be closed beginning January 12th as the NCDOT workers conduct maintenance on the steel beams of that 65-year-old bridge that goes over Little Rockfish Creek. Now, the work includes removing corroded sections and welding new steel beams in place. The detour will send drivers on Cameron Road, South Main Street, and Lakeview. Message boards already up in the area announcing that upcoming closure. The work is expected to take 6 weeks to complete before that road can be reopened. And lastly, now I'm going to hold on to this one right here. Right now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to check out some weather from Fayetteville's most dependable forecast, CBS meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Today we'll have a few clouds in the morning, but those clouds will clear away by the afternoon with a high temperature of 74 degrees. Overnight will be mostly clear with a low of 43, and Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high of 70. A weak cold front will drop temperatures ever so slightly Thursday, but we're going to stay warmer than normal, and then the warmth returns by the end of the week ahead of that weekend cold front. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Right now, 54, holding steady this morning at Fayetteville, Red Springs, and also in Pembroke. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
Del Hair Plumbing, fast, friendly, reliable. Flush your troubles away. Del Hair Plumbing, clogged drains. Call Del Hair Plumbing, serving Fayetteville and surrounding areas. Fast and reliable. From leaks to water heater repairs. Flush your troubles away with Del Hair Plumbing today. 910-429-9999. 3939. Proud to be your hometown news and information source for 4 decades. News Talk 640 WFNC. Say play WFNC wherever you get your audio.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while
What's the 640 replay?
ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.
Average Al's. Our chairs sit, our tables stand.
You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Cumulus Digital outperforms industry benchmarks by over 25%. See what Smarter Digital can do for you at cumulusdigital.com.
At Vision Homes, we believe your dream home should be more than just a dream. It should be a reality. That's why we're committed to bringing your vision to life. From prefab manufactured to custom modular homes, we offer a wide range of styles you can view and order today. And we don't stop at the front door. We manage the entire process, from the land surveys and septic systems to handing you the keys. We're an independent